I don't care if this gets out of hand, said Nelks. You and I both know the procedures set down for the discovery of a new sentient species. There are tests and scans and experiments that have to be performed before sapience can be determined. As a member of the Gelf, it was his job to make sure proper procedure was followed. This species is different, countered 15. They spent a quick moment polling the communal mind of the Frob. Drones from its species did not have the capability for independent decision-making, and the Overmind returned a solution quickly. The Overmind will not support this action. We have never found a species like these humans. We fear this could lead to our annihilation. Nelks considered this as he looked around the facility. The human specimen was patiently waiting the next step. They had explained the reason she was there, and she happily complied with every examination and test so far. Nelks did not see the danger that 15 was concerned about. Sure, this Zhu was significantly stronger than the average sapient, due to her ultra-dense musculature, but she seemed almost a pacifist. Every time she broke some testing equipment, she was very apologetic, and seemed to fear she had ruined humanity's chance of being classed as sapient. Look at her, he said to 15. She obviously intends no harm, and according to her, humans have not been the aggressor against any sapiens ever. She herself said that the only battles they have had since leaving their hellish planet were to defend themselves. Yes, but what if they take this next experiment as a threat? Asked 15. We will not take part in the action that leads us to the same fate as that Reflex that tried to eat their moon. It was referring to a mindless spaceborne entity, who traveled the stars searching for planetary bodies made of certain minerals that it processed as food. Anyone can stop a Reflex, scoffed Nelks. If you insist on these next tests, you will do them alone. With that, 15 clicked away quickly on its chitinous extremities, as fast as only a hexapodal insectoid can. What happened? Exclaimed Zhu. Did I do something wrong? No, answered Nelks, excreting calming sense. It just had to tend to some equipment. He waited until the door to the facility closed, then brought the nerve and brain study program back up on his tablet. This next test is going to study conduction of pain along your nerves, and how your brain deals with the signals. Nelks approached Zhu calmly, exuding every sense their test showed as having a calming effect on the human. Wait, what? Zhu scrambled backward off the soft top platform she had been laying on. No one said anything about pain? It is nothing to be concerned about. It is a simple little sting. From the information you gave us, it will be no worse than the bite of an insect. We thought maybe removing one of these hairs. You stated you remove them yourself regularly anyway, and that you become accustomed to the sensation. Zhu visibly relaxed. Okay, just so long as you are not planning on torturing me or something, she said, returning to the platform. We have laws against that sort of thing. I should hope so, exclaimed Nelks. Torturers have been across all of Federated space. I would recommend a hair on my... began Zhu. Before she could even finish, Nelks reached out with an instrument and grabbed a hair near her groin and yanked it out. Hey, I wasn't ready, she shouted, rubbing the area the hair was pulled from. Apologies. The test needed something further from the brain, and those hairs were the only ones I could see that were not in your head. Nelks tapped a few times at the tablet and continued. That was a sufficient baseline, but I shall not have to pull any more. Still could have warned a girl, damn, Zhu grumbled. Makes it worse when it's not expected. Well, replied Nelks, as I said, that test is concluded. Next we have to test how your species reacts to something a bit more extreme. I'm not sure I like the sound of that, said Zhu nervously. What kind of extreme are we talking about here? Based on the information you've provided, began Nelks. In the middle of his sentence, he quickly reached out again and tried to grasp a fingernail. Hey! Zhu jerked her hand away before Nelks could continue. What are you planning? Nelks sighed. The forced removal of one of your fingernails would do the trick. I thought surprisingly you would provide similar nerve and brain feedback like when the hair was pulled. Now I'm not sure the result will be reliable. You are definitely not going to yank out a fingernail, yelled Zhu. She jolted back off the platform and began putting her pants and shirt back on. Get me back home. Now! You do understand this will mean humanity will be classified as sentient and not sapient, correct? I don't care. If you think ripping out a fingernail is a normal test, your Federated species can go to hell. Zhu grabbed a piece of equipment that another 5 sapients could not lift. Send me back home, or I will start breaking things. Oh, very well, Nelks replied. With a couple of taps on his tablet, Zhu was transported back to a home on Earth. Subject refused completion of examination, Nelks said. Very well, came the voice of his captain from shipboard communications. We will classify them as sentient. Harvesting will commence shortly. Over the next 2 years, the Gelf learned that they should have followed the recommendation from the Throb Overmind. They quickly lost every ship that had been in the Sol system. They were then shocked to find that the humans had somehow not only reverse engineered all of their technology, they had improved it to the point where no one in the galaxy could stand against them. As the humans drove the last Gelf ships back to their home system, more and more humans heard about the testing Zhu had almost been subjected to. All of them were horrified at the prospect, and wanted to join the fight against anyone wanting to subject a person to that. At the forefront of the fleet, newly promoted Captain Zhu sat in her command chair. Her voice had been getting more and more ragged as the war went on. She had never told anyone, but she woke screaming from nightmares every night. Even before the Gelf had abducted her for testing, she had had a fear of a finger or toenail ripping off. Her doctor said that her voice likely would never return to normal, and when she spoke, her voice was gravelly and hoarse. "How far out are we?" she asked of her navigator. She insisted on some familiarity among the bridge staff, so his reply was brief. "Still 10+ hours, said Chief O'Reilly. "While we wait, everyone knows you were the person the Gelf abducted, and everyone knows they wanted to do testing on you. Were they trying to probe you or something like in the old science fiction novels?" Zhu looked at him and cleared her throat. "No," she said, still getting used to how her voice sounded. "I refuse to let them rip my fingernail off to test my limit for pain." He looked at her and grinned. Their war was lost all for want of a horseshoe nail.